Alright guys, Simon here and welcome back to our Minecraft design school. Today we are looking at a house by TaroTheAvocado. So he sent his message in and at first he said, I have built a modern house in Minecraft. I built it on a real world scale and very practical. I just ask of you your honest opinions on this as if it were a real house. However, this house features items, so he's using the latest snapshot, so I had to download the launcher for it. That is an example of a message that is not enough. Like, he didn't really explain what he was trying to do. So I asked him, what are you trying to do? What are your concepts? What kind of house is this? Who lives in this house? And what he thinks was good about it, and then things like that. So basically, you have to explain yourself. If you send something in to me, and you don't tell me what you were trying to do, and what your ideas were, what your inspirations were, and then your process of designing and building this thing, then I don't understand like what you're doing. So I can't really assess whether your house works if I don't know what you were trying to do in the first place, right? I mean, imagine you give a can opener to someone who's never seen a can before. Like he's not gonna, it's not useful for him, and he doesn't understand what it is. Like it only, like the object only makes sense in the context of what you were trying to do and what you needed to do, right? Anyway, so I asked him all that stuff, and then he sends a little bit more stuff. He says, my idea was an arch. I haven't seen, he starts us off here too, I don't know where we are. So his idea is an arch. I wanted to capture the arch not as mechanic but as an art. The shape of the house is an arch, but I use slabs and stairs to give it a natural feel, similar to a piece of abstract art. Okay, I can kind of see the arch there. Okay, let's see that. The actual house is made for 2 to 4 people. I don't think it matters what location this house is put in, but the amenities are sort of designed for a beach. So it's a beach house, or it's kind of a beach house. That's important. And location is important too. I mean, okay, I guess it doesn't matter too much in Minecraft, but even in Minecraft, let's say you have biomes. Like a desert is different from mountains, it's different from snow, and that might have an effect on how you design the house as well. And in the real world it's the same, like a different climate will require a different house design. Anyway, so location, he says he's not sure, but it's a beach house, so let's go with that. The things I did try and make it modern were the material choices and the layout of the house. I used simple yet strong shapes on the interior. The thing I don't like is that the rooms feel too big, but if I made them smaller it left too much unwanted space one way that's just full stop, sorry. If I made it smaller it left too much unwanted space. One way I tried to overcome that is making this awkward staircase upstairs, but I'm not sure how good or practical it really is. Practicality is something else I wanted to achieve in this house, but from never really designing anything practical I found this quite challenging. Alright, so let's not start upstairs. There's got a big upstairs balcony that doesn't actually have anything in it. Let's go down. So he's using the snow things, those are the snow heights. And is that quartz? That's quartz, right? So there's like a ramp up to the upper balcony, and then there's glass down here. I really should turn that back to peaceful. Alright, so I mean, if that was a TV it'd be interesting, but it's actually black wool, so it's not very interesting to watch that particular TV, unfortunately. Alright, so that's the front door. There we go. Alright, so that's the arch. You can see that above us. He's got a lot of heads here for some reason, and there's a... what is that on the other side? So there's a... I guess this is kitchen and dining? This is not sure what this is. It can be a bathroom. I don't know what this is. That's a bathroom. Alright, so there's a ramp on either side. There's a living on one side, dining on the other. This is, I guess, the entry hall. Is that clay? Yeah, that's clay. Giant checkerboard floor and flat creative. I see. I see. Interesting. Interesting. He doesn't actually ask any questions though. He just wants my honest opinion. Alright, let me just look at this. I think that's... There we go. Oh wait, my bad. He meant to do that. Wait a minute, what are those things? Did he mean to do this, or is that a mistake? Wait a minute. Why is that... Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Like the wall goes up to the ceiling and this. Okay, that's a bit strange. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. So overall shape, yes, simple, strong shape. I see that. We've kind of got column things holding up the roof, although that span is a little too big for the roof. I see what you've done too. You've made the front of it, and then you extruded it back, and so the side is completely uninteresting, and then the back is completely uninteresting too. You know, you can put windows on the sides as well, and shape the sides as well. So you see what you've done here at the front. You've got this thing at the bottom, that's good. You have these columns along the side, that's good. You have the overhang at the top, that's good. Look, it's curved both ways too, look at that. So it curves, you know, out to the front, it also curves up and down. I like the shape. I mean, this is good shape. You can do the same sort of things back here. I mean, maybe you don't want to curve it both ways, but you can, you know, extend this out a little bit more. You know, have a bit of an overhang, and then maybe have windows here and windows back here. I mean, it's quite obvious. I mean, I'm guessing, but it seems quite obvious that you made the front and then just extruded the whole thing back. Maybe you just kind of extended it back and didn't really think about it very much when you did so. I mean, you've gone and done, you know, put all these details here at the front. I think you can do the similar thing at the sides and the back too. That'd be good. You've built in the flat creative too. I wonder why you chose that. I know flat creative is kind of, you know, it's just easy to get started, right? It's just flat and you just start building. But if you've put this much work into this and pushed this much thought into the house, you know, imagine if you actually built this on a beach in a proper world, right? That might look better. You know, it might be more worthwhile if you did that. Do you think so? I think so. I mean, imagine if there was actually a beach here. Maybe some hills behind there, maybe a forest or something. That'd be nice. Anyway, let's just look at the house then. What else can I say about this? Yeah, I am fairly convinced that you started from the front and then extruded back and then just filled in the spaces back here. I mean, there's no structure in here. I know it's Minecraft and structure doesn't really matter too much, but I mean, it looks a little odd when you have like the front. You've decided to divide it into that and that and that and that, and when you look at it, it looks plausible, right? If you have columns there, that's enough to hold up that roof. Alright, that's plausible. I believe that. Structural, you know, from a structural point of view. But once you come into here, you drop that pretense, and then you just go into this, which then is a little bit strange because there's this huge span from there all the way to the back wall, and this doesn't look plausible. I mean, why wouldn't you have... What is this? Slabs? Oh, where's the block? Sandstone block? Like, why wouldn't you have columns in here and through here as well? I mean, you have to work the column, you know, with the structure. I mean, I would expect to see kind of columns. You know, you have columns that far apart. You was in the same way you have kind of columns there and then maybe there, maybe there, to hold up the roof, right? That would make more sense to me. And then you have a column here, but there's a door down here, so you might have to put the column on either side of the door. I think you can fit that in. I think it's not that much of a problem to actually put the structure in. Like you've started at the front of the house, just kind of continue it throughout the house, and then all the way to the back. Because that looks, yeah, this is odd. Like this is unexpected to have such a big, big flat space with nothing holding up the roof. Also, the plan of this thing. I mean, you've got this space, which I'm not sure what this is. I mean, this is a chair. So this is a huge lobby. In a way, it's kind of wasted space because you don't use this for anything. It's just, the door, the front door. There's this. There's a really, it's a really small table. If this is a two-person table, so if you have that, then I would expect two people to live here at the most. But even then, you'd want bigger tables because you want to entertain guests usually. But I mean, it's not. I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult to just, make more table, right? Hold on, let me just put that there. Oh wait, that's kind of getting in the way of the kitchen, isn't it? I mean, I would make the table bigger. If I can remove that, and then, because this house, this is not a small house. For such a big house, to have such a small table is a little bit strange, in my opinion. Can I just do that? Yeah, okay. Well, that's a little bit strange too. Anyway, you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say here. Is if you have a, if a house this big, you really should have a bigger table. There we go. So now this looks like a house that might be big enough for 4 people because the furniture fits the 4 people concept. A lot of creeper heads. I don't know why there's a lot of creeper heads in the kitchen. I still don't know. Okay, this is a bathroom. This is fine mostly. You kind of want to access the bathroom. I mean, you're walking through the dining room to get to the bathroom. It's a little bit strange. Usually you'd be able to access it from the, wait a minute, where's the bedrooms? Do you have bedrooms? You don't have bedrooms. Okay. So maybe that's what the upstairs is, the bedroom. You can, like, it's like a loft with, beds up here, I guess. Unless that's supposed to be the bedroom over there, which doesn't really make sense. And you can't go from here, you can't go from the kitchen and dining over to that space. So I really don't know what this space is. Oh wait, this is the bedroom. That's the bed. Oh, I see. This is the bed. And you have to go through the bathroom to get. Is this a bathroom or is this something else? That's the bathroom. There's no bath. That's the toilet, right? So that's the bath. That's a little bit strange. The fact that you have to go through the bathroom to get to the bedroom. I mean, it's not too difficult to put a small door there, I guess. And yeah, so I mean, once you have something like this, again, it's apparent that you started with the front of the building and you just kind of extruded this back, and then you tried to fit the rooms into the space you have left, because what happens here is you have a really, really long bedroom that doesn't really make sense because you've done that. I don't know, I think you can fit 2 bedrooms in here. Maybe have like a corridor down here and then a wall, so then you have 1 bedroom and a 2nd bedroom. I think you can fit that in. It'll be a lot smaller though, it won't be quite as luxurious, of course. I think you can do that. That would make a little more sense than this. I don't know what. It's like you can go bowling in your bedroom. It's like a long space. The upstairs spaces are still a little bit odd. Alright, so what did you say? You say I use simple yet strong shapes on the interior. Yeah. The thing I don't like is that the rooms feel too big, but if I made them smaller, it left too much unwanted space. I don't know what you mean by unwanted space. I think you just haven't quite figured out how to plan this. So I think this can be 2 bedrooms. I think the other stuff is fine. I think the kitchen, I mean, once you put the bigger table in, the kitchen and dining is about the right size, actually. This is a little odd. The fact that you have this much space for the entryway. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of a waste of space, I feel like. The living room, I mean, you've got a TV, I guess that's supposed to be a TV. That's interesting. The bookshelves asymmetrical. I don't know what's back here. You can put something else here, I guess. More bookshelves, like a study or something. I don't know. And then upstairs, I don't know what you can put here too. But yeah, I mean, you've got more space than you've used. You don't have to have this. You can have just a single story the whole way through, and just have a really tall space here, where the entryway is. It still doesn't really change the fact that we don't know what to do with this space. Yeah, overall I think it's a decent house. It's just I'm questioning the approach though. I'm questioning the facade and then extrude backwards approach. Because you're not, I mean, you're thinking a lot, or you're putting a lot of thought into the front of it, and it shows. That looks good. But then you haven't put in anywhere near as much thought in the stuff back here, and that shows as well. I mean, when you come back here and you look at this, that shows the fact that you haven't actually thought about this very much. And you haven't thought about whether putting in some windows at the back and the sides as well would be a good idea. You haven't thought about that, and that shows. Advice? Just, I don't know, I think I've said pretty much everything I have to say. It's fairly good. I mean, it's fairly good, but then there's also some obvious room for improvement, right? Actually, what's going on there? Wait a minute. There's something on this side as well. What have you done here? Have I missed a room completely? Oh, there's a room here as well. Oh, I see. I missed this room completely. And I don't know what this is. And you don't know what this is either, obviously. It's just like a dark room, like a cinema? Okay. Okay, you don't know what this is neither. I see that. That's quite obvious. Yeah. So, it's, I mean, the difficult thing to do, and that might be a good challenge for you, for your next build, is to think about the facade and the plan simultaneously. So think about the front and the layout simultaneously. Don't do one and then the other. It sounds a bit, or rather, do one and then do the other, and then come back and change the first, and then change this. Like, you go back and forth. You don't just kind of let one thing determine the rest of the building, because your plan is not resolved. There's a lot of problems with the rooms, the layout and the sizes and the proportions. There's like a really long bedroom, and then a space here that you don't really know what it is. Like, there's problems with the plan which you haven't resolved, but you don't, and I can tell that you're thinking you don't really want to deal with that because you want to keep this, or you've done this and you don't want to reconsider the front of it. But the problem with design is you have to do that. Like, you have to go back and forth to resolve all these questions that you haven't quite answered. Is what are those rooms, and to do that you might have to reconsider the front of it. And you're building in creatives. I mean, it's not, you shouldn't be that lazy. You can change things quite easily, right? But yeah, like building from the plan instead of building from the front of the building. Does that make sense? Like building from the floor, or building from the layout of the rooms instead of building from the front, or building from the layout of the rooms as well as building from the front of the building. and also the size of the buildings, which you haven't done. I don't know if that helps. I hope that helps. Well, I hope that gives you more things to think about and ideas to try out in your next build. I mean, it's not easy, but you'll get better at it with practice. You know, the fact that you have to resolve the conflict between, you know, what you see at the front and what you see inside. Alright, I'll stop before I repeat myself too much. Other than that, you've done some interesting things. Parts of it is quite good. This is SCKChui's Minecraft Design School. You send me your questions and your save file or your server IP address, and I will give you architecture design advice and feedback. See the video description for more details. Seriously, you should read the description before you send me anything. Thank you.